Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called 15 Things You Didn't Know About Poland. This is a great video. I do not know anything about Poland, so this is gonna be very exciting for me. Let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we present you with another incredible country. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Poland. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello, Aluxers. It's time to take a virtual tour of Poland. Today we're taking you on a trip to one of Eastern Europe's most beautiful countries. As many of you already know by now, Poland has been a major player in modern history with their implication in the world wars. Due to their location and their community, they are by far one of the countries that suffered the most in the early 1900s. Although nowadays most people visit them because of the concentration camp museums, there's so much more to Poland than just post-war trauma. It's a vivid country with welcoming people that carry the Eastern European mark, medieval architecture, and lots of culture. Out of all of their 38 million citizens, over 80% of them go through
I don't know why I thought it was a smaller country. I don't know, that seems like a lot.
University, but at the same time, they are very, very religious. Pope John Paul II was from Poland, and they take great pride in that. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux.
Although kind of surprising, I would assume most people were Jewish.
Besides a very tough language, a brutal history, and a lot of smart people.
Tough language? Well, maybe if you speak, I don't know, a similar language isn't going to be that weird, but yeah, I think it is weird.
Poland is a hidden gem of Europe, and we're going to let you in on its secrets, beauty, and luxury. Let's get started. Number 1. Many famous actors and directors are of Polish descent.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about the backgrounds of the most famous celebrities? Not all of them are Americans or British. Many celebrities have a variety of roots, and if you haven't noticed that by their last name,
well, that can be true for a lot of people.
The most notorious actors and directors are half Polish or of Polish ancestry. Emmy Award winner John Krasinski, Kristen Bell, Scarlett Johansson, Roman Polanski, or Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak.
Well, a lot of those last names tell me, oh yeah, of course you're Polish.
Are all Polish somewhere down the line. This shows how much talent and beauty Poland has to offer to the world. Number 2. Fashion and beauty is really big in Poland. In Europe, Italy and France are the most notorious players in the beauty and fashion industries. The biggest and most luxurious brands are located there, and most people forget about the others. Take notice, because some big brands we all know and love are actually from Poland. Starting with beauty, Inglot Cosmetics, that recently launched a collection with J.Lo, was founded in
I thought they were British.
Poland. Max Factor was founded by a Polish woman, and Helen Rubinstein founded a brand that was acquired by L'Oreal later on.
Well, that last name, yeah, of course, is Polish.
Fashion-wise, Reserved and Mojito are 2 Polish brands. Number 3. They still kiss hands when meeting ladies.
Oh my god.
Basic manners have changed so much over the years. People nowadays shake hands or kiss on the cheek the most. There used to be a time when a man would kiss a lady's hand when meeting her as a sign of respect and courtship. If you're not a member of the royal family, then you may not be so familiar with all these habits, but in Poland, they're still pretty common. Here, men will still kiss a girl or a woman's hand when meeting her. And even though it might seem bourgeois, it's cool. It's simply good manners, so get used to it.
I would think they were trying to flirt with you. That's what I think, but no, apparently it's normal.
Number 4. There aren't too many immigrants. We all learn about the world wars in history class. There's a lot of movies, books, documentaries, and so on about the horrors that happened. Since Poland suffered the most from
Yeah.
Some of the after effects still haunt its citizens.
Oh, really?
Nowadays, Poland is a very homogenous society where people look at you very curiously if you're Black or Asian. And for that reason, there isn't too many African or Asian migrants there, not even in the bigger cities. Unfortunately,
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not that surprising given their history.
it'll likely take a few more generations for them to fully recover and be more inclusive.
But I don't
Number
blame them.
5. The richest man in Poland has a net worth of $3.7 billion.
Okay, more money than you've ever seen in your life.
If you didn't know this already, Poland is pretty much among the fewer countries that dodged the financial crisis of 2008. Even though the crisis was not that bad in Poland, there's still not the country with the most billionaires. The richest person in Poland is Sebastian Kulczyk,
And who's
the
that
son
guy?
of Jan Kulczyk, the richest man in Poland. He inherited his late
Okay, so he's nepotism.
father's investment fund and now runs it with his sister Dominika. He's now the president of the company and together with his sister took
What do
over
they
the
do?
$3.7 billion fortune. Number 6. A rare luxury sports car was lost in France and found in Poland through social media.
How does a luxury car get lost?
These days, social media can help with voting campaigns, help find lost people, raise money, and so on. For an Arab millionaire, it helped him to find his luxury sports car that was stolen by a fake company in France. It
fake
was
company?
actually more like a scam, and we're talking about a Lamborghini Aventador, which was
Okay.
one of roughly 5 models in a limited edition, costing around
How hard could it be to find a car where you only have 5 models of this?
$500,000 each. The car was supposed to be safely shipped from Cannes back to London, but it never reached its destination.
Got
it
lost.
was then when he posted on social media about it, and his 70,000 followers helped him track it down. The main suspect was a Polish officer who may have planned to take the car to Russia when Interpol
no.
caught up with him. Number
Okay, it's so funny that the billionaire needs help from the common folk to find the car.
7. Poland wants more money from Germany over World War II reparations.
There were reparations? Didn't know
Whenever
that.
something fishy happens in Poland that involves the whole EU, the conversation seems to always shift towards the World War losses. If Germany dares demand
I'm wondering if there's still a lot of anti-German sentiment over there.
explanations from Poland officials regarding their behavior or changes, it backfires. Recently, some Polish officials demanded that Germany should pay post-war reparations because the 1.3 billion euros it was paid are not enough to
That's
cover
a lot of money.
1% of the losses and damage they created. Unfortunately,
It's a lot of money, but it was a lot of damage, so...
for them, Germany was highly punished for what they did during that time, and
Yeah.
they may not get any more money out of it.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Of course Germany's gonna be like, no, we already give you enough.
North Korea sent thousands of children to Poland in the 1950s.
Why?
If you think that the World War was traumatizing for Poland, then you need to look a little more into their history. Being a former communist country, Poland had to take some favors from other fellow communist countries like Russia or North Korea.
Okay.
Back in the 1950s, when the Korean War started, Kim Sung-II decided to send thousands of children to Poland, Hungary, and Russia to
why?
escape the war. Years after they were deported back to North Korea, but as a new movie about the subject shows, they wanted to stay in their new homes. This movie is called
Yeah, how awful. They spent their whole lives there and then they were being deported. They were already Polish.
The Children Gone to Poland.
That's crazy.
Number 9. A bunch of Polish students invented the modern drug test.
What's a modern drug test?
The first university in the world was established in Prague. A few
Really?
years later, the second university was founded, this time in Poland.
Oh my god.
Nowadays, the tradition of culture and science still goes on in Poland, and we can see that just by looking at their achievements, without mentioning all the Nobel Prize winners and famous scientists.
Wow.
A group of students from Poland launched an app that helps people get tested for certain drugs.
An app?
It uses the phone's camera to scan the eye for anomalies and other symptoms. So the next big thing in drug screening may just come from Poland.
Okay, I've never heard of this test in my life, but that's incredible.
Number 10. The world's largest medieval castle is in Poland.
That's crazy to me.
Europe is full of old and beautiful castles.
Yeah.
Poland was also a country
But I think maybe because something like France or Germany, I think, are more famous for their castles, I would assume the oldest is in one of those countries.
that boomed during the Renaissance period. And even though it was severely bombed, the world's largest castle still stands strong. The Malbork Castle, the world's
pretty.
largest medieval castle dating from the 13th century, is now turned into
I have to admit, it doesn't look that opulent. It looks kind of normal.
a beautiful museum. If you want to feel like a king, you don't have to move to France. There are many castles for sale all over
Wow.
Poland,
For
with
sale?
prices sitting modestly at $6 million.
Okay,
Number
well,
11.
$6 million for a castle? I don't think that's that bad for a game.
They have milk bars that are actually restaurants.
Milk?
All over the world,
What?
restaurants are restaurants. Taxis are called taxis.
Yeah.
And hotels are called hotels.
Usually?
This international convention is very useful until someone decides to change that. In Poland, milk bars are not what they seem.
Okay.
A milk bar is usually a cafeteria-like restaurant where you can eat food and have a drink at a relatively low price. Polish
Like a cafe.
people prefer milk bars over fast food restaurants because the food is healthier and has a better price for its value. Number 12.
Like a cafe. But what's up with the milk bar? Why is it called milk?
There are sand dunes in the north.
Dunes?
Poland
Oh
is
my.
lucky enough to have a sea opening. Although its landscape is not the usual palm trees and pristine beaches,
Yeah.
it's still a great place to enjoy the sunshine. They have
Dunes are dunes.
the Baltic Sea, which is not the warmest water, but it's better than nothing.
Sure.
A pretty usual thing for that region is the fact they have sand dunes along the coastline. Because they're located in such a northern location, the dunes are blown away by the hard winds, and they actually move inland 10 meters each year.
Yeah, that's usually the case with dunes. They're constantly moving around.
These sand dunes are unique in Europe and can be visited by anyone. Number 13. Polka dots and polka music are not from Poland.
I have to say, I've never thought they were.
When you think of polka dots or the polka dance, you immediately attribute them to Poland.
Not really.
Well, we're here to tell you that if you ever related the two of those, you're wrong. The polka dance is actually from the Czech region of Bohemia.
Yeah.
The polka dots have multiple origins. They might be related to a Polish woman, but
Oh.
their fame and use dates are from the medieval times.
Okay, so ultimately it was kind of Polish?
No one really knows who invented polka dots and the
Okay.
name of the pattern.
Nobody
it can be
knows.
Czech, Polish, or American. Nobody
are you-
really
yeah.
knows. Number 14. You can't name your child whatever you want in Poland.
What do you mean?
Now that everyone is a fan of Game of Thrones and other famous series, the naming of a new baby has become way more interesting. Modern parents strive to give their babies the craziest and most unique names they can think of. In Poland, such behavior is
It's kind of, you don't want your child to grow up with a crazy name, right?
not tolerated. You can't just go in and name your baby girl Daenerys. At the civil registry office, you'll be advised to choose a name that is appropriate, and you'll be given a list of names which are not recommended. If the name is
Okay, but not recommended doesn't mean you're forbidden.
too weird, they can refuse to register your baby, and you'll have
Oh, okay, so it is so it's forbidden. Okay.
to go to court to settle it.
Oh my god.
Number
Court
15.
for a name.
They have a $7,250 vodka.
Oh.
Vodka
Surprising because I thought the most expensive vodka was from Russia.
and Poland work very well together. They've been well-known vodka lovers and exquisite producers of this alcoholic beverage for quite a while. Polish people like hardcore alcohol, and they're not afraid to
Okay.
craft specialties and expensive concoctions. A few years ago, Poland launched a limited edition of their Belvedere vodka called Belver Bears, exclusively for the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay.
It was a beautiful bottle design in collaboration with DJ Jean Rock for the festival's parties. They priced it at $7,250 per bottle,
Okay, so it's more about the bottle and not the alcohol.
including the plexiglass bear that holds it. Well, Alexers, that's all for Poland. As you move your finger towards the east on the map, you really find amazing places. Poland is in
beautiful
fact
castle.
a great destination for digital nomads and students. Here you can get the best out of both worlds, Eastern Europe and Western Europe. Do you guys think the stereotypes about Polish people are true? Do they really apply in this case?
What are
Let
the
us know what you
stereotypes?
think in the comments below. And as always, for sticking with us until the end and being a true Alexer, here's your another award, a bonus fact. Number 16. The most expensive Polish artwork sold for over $8,424,500.
Not that expensive. I was expecting something more.
One of Poland's most famous Art Deco artists is Tamara de Lempicka. She was born in Poland from a Jewish, half-Russian, half-Polish family. She grew up in Western Europe where she perfected her art and is one of the most loved and talented Polish painters.
Yeah.
Her famous painting, called Le Rêve, Rafaela sur fond vert, The Dream, sold at Sotheby's New York auction in 2011 for $8,424,500, making her the most expensive Polish artist ever. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.
I do not know if I would spend the $8 million in the painting, but it's a beautiful painting. This is very interesting. I think that the funny fact about the vodka, about being very expensive, and apparently Polish people really like their alcohol straight and strong. I didn't know they were famous for their vodka. I know the Build-A-Beer brand, I've heard of it before. I didn't know it was from Poland, but it's really funny to me that they're trying to sell you this incredibly expensive bottle. It's what, $8,000? I don't know why you would spend $8,000 in one bottle of alcohol. But I think usually when it's those expensive, I'm thinking of wine specifically. When there's those very expensive wine bottles, you are getting, it's because this is the grape that came from whatever, and it was this harvest, and it's all about the actual sort of drink and the actual wine and the alcohol itself. So that's how they're justifying the price. And it's because it's been aged for, 5 years in this barrel, and there's just a whole process. So it's incredibly funny to me that in this case, no, the alcohol is whatever you get at the grocery store, like it's the same bottle, but not the same bottle as in the drink, the alcohol that's inside. But what you're actually getting here if you spend that amount of money is the bottle, because the bottle was designed by I think it was a DJ, like this very famous guy. So that's what you're sort of getting. You're getting the bottle and not the alcohol, which I think usually is the other way around. No, it's because it's the alcohol that's been, it's being masterfully crafted in one of these. There's a whole thing. So it's really funny that, no, in this case, it's the opposite. As for the whole country itself, I think I learned a lot of new facts, again, from someone who's really, I do not know much about Poland. A lot of scientists and sort of technological advances over there, which I don't know if I'm surprised by that, only I never actually given that much thought to this. But I think one fact that I think it's kind of not surprising if you think about this for 2 seconds. But it's, of course they have so many immigrants that left, a lot of Polish descent. I think all over, the diaspora is huge all over the world. This because, yes, of course, because of their history, a lot of people had to flee their countries. So in this case, their country, Poland, and it was World War II specifically. So of course you're gonna find a lot of people from Polish descent basically everywhere in the world. And yes, that's not really that uncommon. But I think one of the things that surprised me, that again, maybe it's because I was thinking about this, maybe a little bit different, is it still the after effects of the war, and then the World War II are still being felt in the sort of modern society and in modern Poland. I guess obviously it was such a traumatic event and such an awful event that, of course, again, and that's what I think, if you really think about this hard, of course it's not gonna be something that's gonna disappear. But I don't know why I thought they were sort of, recovered in a way. I don't know if recovered is the right word, because you can't recover from a war and all those traumatic events. But maybe I think it healed. I think maybe it's a more appropriate term. But I don't think they have completely. And again, it's not that surprising to me. That I think maybe it's because the sort of image that you get about Poland, I know that's I don't know, maybe that's just me, but sort of the cultural sort of baggage that comes from the modern Poland, or just, I don't know, the more, what they project, I believe, it's more about, yeah, it's a country that's kind of normal in a way, and you wouldn't think that those awful events happen semi recently, and that's why I'm a little surprised that the effects are still being felt. Still, they're trying to get money from Germany. They're still trying to get reparations, and again, I don't blame them, because yes, of course, the whole country was destroyed. So yeah, of course, you're going to keep, yeah, the amount of money that you guys gave to us, it's not enough, and that's only obviously getting into the things that you can rebuild, the cities themselves. The actual losses of all the people that died, well, of course, no amount of money is ever going to replace that. And all the people that had to flee this country, and again, that's why they have a huge diaspora all over the world, no amount of money is going to give them back, basically. So yes, of course, that's a way, and that's, I think, why they call it. It's called reparations, because yeah, technically you're not going to get things to back the way they were, but it's sort of a, I'm sorry this happened, so this is some money. But still, I gotta get it, but I didn't know that they were still trying to get money. I don't blame them, of course, but it's a little surprising to me. And the whole about the modern sort of society, they don't really, it's not that diverse. They don't really get a lot of immigrants. There's not a lot of, probably there's not a lot of diversity. Probably when you're walking down the street, I wonder if you as a tourist, and you're a tourist, and there's black people or maybe Asians, I don't know, and they all, maybe when they're walking down the street as a tourist, are people like looking at them being, oh wow, like there's a darker person. I don't know. I'm wondering if that's the case, if it's that pronounced, or if it's more sort of a silent thing that everyone kind of agrees and knows, but you're not going to be rude and sort of pointing things out. I don't know if it's rude, actually. I don't know. But I think, well, maybe the other person's going to like you treating them as they were in a zoo, that whole, oh wow, look at you. It's, well, yeah, I don't know. It's normal. People with afros, I don't know. So I'm wondering if this is something that sort of, everyone kind of has a silent, unspoken agreement of we're not that diverse, so do not move here if you're maybe too otherized, and if you're from Africa, and I know, yes, not all Africa are black people, but still, if you're maybe have a darker skin tone, or you're black, or you have something that it's a little bit exotic, and I know that word's kind of silly, because exotic just it depends on where, exotic to where exactly, but it's as in exotic to Poland, because they're not used to this. So I'm wondering if it's because immigrants are not treated that great, or if it's just, no, you wouldn't move there because people are just very unfriendly towards that kind of immigrants. I don't know, that seems surprising to me. Or maybe it isn't, maybe it's just, no, it's sort of, again, they don't really like it, or maybe it's not they don't like it, they just don't see it as much, and that's why they're surprised by it. But does that mean that there are certain people that can't immigrate to this country because it's gonna be weird, they're gonna be treated in a bad way? I don't know. We'd love to know more about that subject, because I think it's very interesting, and that all stems from all the things that happened in the Second World War. So again, it's not that healed apparently, and I wouldn't expect them to, but I kind of was, I don't know, I thought that they had sort of, oh, that's all in the past, but apparently it isn't. But again, if you think about this, I don't think people that are still, I don't think people that were alive back in those days are still, but there's a big chance that they're still alive if they were younger. Probably if they were younger when that was happening, of course there's a bigger chance of them being alive right now. Probably not people that were in their 20s or something. No, those people are not going to be alive back in those days, back in this day and age. But I think maybe something. But you kind of, those people grew up hearing the stories of their grandparents and their parents, so of course they're going to be still sort of in the public consciousness, and you're going to know. And of course all those wounds are still sort of trying to be healed in a way. So that's sad to me. Of course, it's really sad, but yeah. And obviously the other thing that kind of was very strange to me, it was two things, and well, both in awful, one in an awful way, and the other not in an awful way. The Korean immigration, I didn't really understand that. Again, it was sort of communism, and they had to take sort of exchanges and stuff. Okay, I get that part. what I do not get is if they took away children because they were trying to protect them. So they took away all this. I don't know how, if they were thousands or they were hundreds. I don't know how many kids they sort of took out of their countries. And I don't know how the process was. They were put in Polish families, or maybe all the families kept, I don't know, maybe they immigrated. I have no idea about the specifics. But I think it's awful because either way, if they were kids, of course they're going to grow up being sort of Polish. And yeah, they were Polish because that's the only thing they've known. So it's awful that then decades later, apparently they were being deported to North Korea, because then they're going to be, well, technically it was my country of birth, but if it didn't have any sort of ties with that country and they grew up in Poland, that place, that North Korea, it's going to be this foreign place to them. And it's an awful thing of, okay, I'm being put in this place that is completely foreign to me. It's a stranger. Why am I here if I basically I'm Polish? So that's awful. Would also love to know more about that situation because it's intriguing in a bad way, yes. And the other to me it's bad, but I don't know, well, not bad. I think it's just quite weird. The whole milk bar situation, did not understand that. If it's a cafe, then how come you call it a milk bar, but it's a cafe and I understand technically the name cafe. It's not that, again, because it's a cafe. If I tell you, hey, let's go to the cafe, and you have no previous knowledge of what a cafe is, you would assume, well, it's gonna be a place where we're gonna have coffee. And yes, of course, that's sort of implied. But we can have sandwiches, we can have salads, we can eat as well. So I don't know, I just think that's a little strange. But to me, a cafe is sort of like the normal thing, or a coffee shop. Yeah, if they sell coffee, but they also sell other things. It's not just coffee. And in this case, I'm wondering if it's weird to me because I've never heard of it, and the milk bar is similar to a coffee shop. But they'll sell you milk as well. Is that what it is? It's no. Of course, you're going to be able to find some milk products, and milk as in the drink as well. Can you have a glass of milk? Which I think sounds so completely strange to me. I don't think I've ever heard anyone just go to a coffee place or a whatever place and just order a glass of milk or a milk to go. Now that's really strange to me. But maybe in Poland, that's a thing. Maybe they're just big on milk. They're big milk drinkers, and that's why the milk shops, it was called milk shops, right? Those things exist. I don't know. That's talking about foreign concepts. That's a foreign concept to me. I would like to know the explanation on why is it called a milk something if they'll sell you, if it's just a restaurant. I don't really get it. And for the last thing I want to say is the whole naming situation of their kids. On one hand, a part of me wants to go, oh, but they're taking away their freedom. It's the freedom of choice. Is I want to name my kid, I don't know, I want to name them Blanket, then I should be able to name my kid Blanket. But on the other hand, I get that, well, you're doing a disservice to this kid. So there's going to be some regulations in place for you to not be able to name your kid whatever weird name that you can find. And not just in things that already exist, as in, I'm naming my kid Bottle. I don't know, something that already is an article of something that already exists. Because I think the trend in this modern times is a lot of people want to name their kids just sort of made up names, as in, and spelled in the weirdest of ways. I think especially in the US, that's a thing. And on one hand, again, it's like, yeah, sure, you have the freedom, but on the other, I kind of believe sometimes it should be regulated, because come on, the kid is going to change their name once they're an adult, they turn 19. They're going to change this, because they're not going to go around life just, oh, my name is, I don't know, Jackson, whatever, and spelled in the weirdest of ways, or Tradig, and it's like a G and an E and an I and an H. I don't know, it's something very weird. So I kind of like that they have some regulations, but I'm wondering where exactly do they draw the line. And I think, yeah, am I going to go to court because I want to name my kid something that's kind of a little bit unusual, but not so out there? I don't know. What's up with that? Do they have a jury that decides the line is around here? You can name them something that's really, it's not that weird, but maybe it's a little bit uncommon, but it's not out of this world. Or I don't know, like I would love to know where the line is drawn and what names are acceptable and what kind of names aren't. And apparently, if you ever, I don't know what sort of names are Polish or just normal over there, but it's really funny that yes, you're not gonna find something weird as in the ones I just mentioned, Trady or whatever, Jax with like 3 X's. I don't know, it's not gonna be like that. So on one end, well, yeah, sure. It's there. They'll save you the whole haggle of maybe the hassle of maybe change your name as an adult. But on the other, you're kind of, I don't know. It's the creativity. They're putting limits on creativity, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe you shouldn't be that creative when naming people. So maybe that's what it is. On the other hand, that also creates a problem, which everyone's kind of named the same, and I don't think that's a really good thing either. So I don't know. What a conundrum. Who would have said that naming conventions would be so complicated? But yeah, well, this has given me a lot of food for thought. And that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.